All right, it's very, very, very interesting what our prices have been doing. So check out, so February, the median price was $243. March was the same, $243. April, wow, $250. That's a huge jump. Huge jump, yes. And if someone wants to be a sweetheart and run downstairs to the front desk and grab our handouts, Connie, thank you so much. And she'll bring this sheet up so everyone can have it. So the prices are going up, and it's no surprise because the market is absolutely crazy. I put this data into a visual graph as well, which is a little bit easier to see and to read about. So, all right. This year, April, prices $250. If you look to the left, we obviously go back in time. So we've got January of 16 here, median price was $220. January of 15, median price is $200. So you see the trend, prices are going up. Average price appreciation, according to the economists, they say that prices should be going up between 3 and 5% a year. Las Vegas is going up way more than that. So that scares people. It makes people think that we're in another bubble. But that's a different conversation. So vertical. So high rises are interesting. The median price of high rises is only $270, and it's really misleading because when we think of high rises, we think of like what, Panorama, the Martin, maybe Sky Las Vegas, or Veer, for example. Those that I just mentioned carry a much higher average price, but very few sales occur in those towers. Most of the sales occur where? Palms Place, Signature at MGM. Those towers bring the price down. Here's our high-rise slide. Okay, here's the high-rise slide. And again, I will email this. So the text is kind of small at the bottom, but so we have 2 columns for each high-rise building. The blue column is the median price in the past 3 months. So I do these by quarter since each tower doesn't have a ton of volume each month, so I do them by quarter. The blue bar is the actual price of the tower, and the green bar is the price per foot. So you see the 2 standout ones, Mandarin Oriental, the median price there is $1.8 million, median price. That means half the units sell for more and half sell for less. That's very different than the $270 we just saw on the other sheet. But okay, the Platinum is another condo hotel. The median price there is $118,000. MGM Signature $203,000. Where's Palms Place? $197,000. So you separately put all of the residential sales for the past month together, we get this bullet point here, this number. So all resale property type, 229. So combine everything residential that sold, and that's our median price for April. And of course it's up from March and from February. And like I say every single month, this is the number that we use to compare ourselves to the national median home price, which is 236. So this is really interesting to see the nationwide median price jump by so much, from 228 in March to 236 in April. That's a huge increase. Okay, out of the 2787 that did close last month, there were only 4% of those were bank owned, REO, real estate owned. 5% were short sales, and 91% were non-distressed. ND means non-distressed, regular mom and pop equity sales. Cash buyers made up 21% of the market. And these are percentage of sales that are cash going back to October of 2010. And 44%, that was not the bottom of the pricing crash that we had though. So the prices in Las Vegas were free falling in 2010 because the economy crashed in 2008, right? So they were free falling. Prices kept free falling down, 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 down until this point here. Late 11, so January of 12 was the bottom of the pricing cycle where prices in Vegas hit almost $100,000 for the median home, right in this point. And that's when over half of all sales were cash buyers, 52%. Interesting thing, you never know when the bottom is until it's behind you. You never know when the top or any peak or nadir, they call it, is happening until it's like in your rear view mirror. So people are still, the vultures have still descended, the Blackstones, all the big hedge funds have still committed to buying tons of properties in Vegas with cash all the way until 2013-ish. Look at almost 60% of sales were cash then. And prices started going up though in January of 12. Prices started to creep up. So it's clear that around this time, so early 2013, these investors realized that, okay, prices are still good, but maybe not quite as amazing as they were here, so we're gonna stop buying in Vegas. And so that's when the cash percentages started going down. And as prices go up, cash investors tend to go down. I hope that helps a little bit with that. Non-distressed. Absorption rate. This is the kicker. This is a very good piece of data to look at. So 1.8 months of inventory, that's what we call our absorption rate. That is almost nothing. And this is something that economists always talk about. And that's what economists use to determine, are we in a buyer's market or a seller's market?
The property being sold.
Right. So the way that comes, the significance of this is if nothing new is listed. So if James, if you saw no new properties listed at all every morning, it would take Las Vegas 1.8 months to sell every single house available. 1.8 months to sell everything that's available. And that is extremely fast. It's an extremely short. The economists say anything under 6 months is a seller's market. And anything over 6 months is a buyer's market. Now, for those of us who have been in real estate for a while, we haven't seen anything above 6 months since back in the boom times of 2006. I put this bullet point here because Ian and I had a discussion about this one time. Back in September of 06 was the peak of our inventory at the bubble. 10.8 months of available listings because sellers were getting so greedy. Every single human that owned a house put it on the market because the prices were out of control, way more than they are now. Right. There were 21,000 listings available back then, but we have not seen anything like this since then. It changed in 2008 and we haven't seen it since then. So we're in a very strong seller's market. Now, this brings us to our next discussion, which is DOM, days on market. Now, so for those of you who were like, what the heck, there's way less than 2 months, you're absolutely right. There is way less than 2 months in specific price ranges. So the median days on market for a single family house in the Vegas Valley is 17 days. 17 days, that's down from 19 in March, down from 27 in February, down from 30 in January. So you see what's happening there. Now look at the price point. So under $200,000 listing price, 13 days on market. 200 to 250, 10 days on market. It's kind of funny. Sales price by property type. So this is a wide angle view, like zooming way out, looking back from 2007 up to 2016. Three bar graphs per year. The blue is all property, green is single family only, and yellow is condos and townhouses. And you see where the prices were at the peak of the bubble. Single family houses reached almost 300,000, and then we crashed. So the crash happened in 2008, prices came down. 2011 was the bottom. 124,500 was the median price of a single family home at the bottom of the crash. Condos, median price 64,000. A lot of investors think they can still get those prices now. Unheard of. So the prices started going up, and you see where we are now. So that's a really interesting graph I like. Sales volume by year. This is something kind of cool also. I went way back to 1990. Sales volume back then, 13,000 for the whole year. And as the population started to increase, sales volume just increased. And you see where the bubble started. So 2003 was where the bubble began. So many properties sold 2004 and 5. And you know, it's funny, in 2005, we should have seen something happening. But in 2006, the volume went down because the prices were so sky high. People were getting priced out of the market and things were just getting weird. And the prices did not start to crash until late 2007, early 2008. But you'd think we'd start to recognize something. You guys, it's after 1. Thank you so much for your participation. I always appreciate you being here. John, thank you.